What's up? What's up? It's your boy Dwell, aka Mr. J, aquí en la casa, coming at you sideways with another episode of Las Different Voices. Today I got my homegirl, Diverse
Ceslee G,
Chicana.
Diverse
That's how I met her. Ceci, you said?
Ceslee G.
Ceslee.
Yeah.
Okay, Ceslee. It's kind of a little hard. Not hard,
It's
but
unique.
yeah,
it's
unique. It's unique.
Yeah.
Ceslee.
Mm-hmm.
So today in the casa we got Ceslee, Diverse Chicana. Thank you for coming by. How you doing?
I'm doing okay. I'm glad to be here. My first podcast, like we were talking about.
Yeah.
So I'm excited.
Nice. And thank you for coming. I really do appreciate it. I had to take a little break for certain reasons, but thank you for coming. I appreciate it. I'm happy that you're here, and I'm ready to get this going again. You know,
Yep.
it's a little. It was a little break, maybe like 2 months, but I had people coming at least once or twice a week. But yeah, I appreciate you coming by. How's your day going? I know. You seem pretty busy. I don't know how you're.
I am. I have an online business. I'm in
nice.
school. I'm still creating music. And then, like, along with all of that, taking care of myself. Like, going to the gym, being consistent with that, like, trying to eat healthy. It's just, like, everything's a hustle. Like, you gotta stay on top of it. If you let one thing slip, then it's, like, you know, for 2 weeks, you're kind of, like, trying to work to get back to that spot that you were at, so...
I get it. So what do you do for work? Oh, online business. What is that? What is that?
It's more retail, like, you know, whatever's popular right now in terms of clothing or accessories. So it's more catered to women, but I do have some, you know, male clothing or men's clothing, however you want to say it these days. And then I'm a tutor as well. So
nice.
Yeah.
Tutor where?
All subjects.
For a school or?
I am a private tutor.
Outside of school.
Yes, yeah. So I find my own clients. I've been doing that for a few years now, and I've just always loved working with kids. And yeah, it's a really good job for me while I'm in school.
What age group?
All ages.
Pretty much from to high school, right? Or adults too.
I've tutored a few college students actually. So it's cool. I like it. I like teaching. I like learning and applying that to whatever people need help with. So
what do you tutor though? Like
chemistry,
math, chemistry,
algebra, geometry, biology.
Oh, so the hard stuff.
The hard shit, yeah. But I like it. I like working with the youth, especially like adolescents. For me, that's just like, it's just really cool.
So you're a schoolie. You were a schoolie.
You know what I was, because my greatest motivation was to have my own home when I was younger. Like, I didn't want to rely on anybody. I didn't want to have to ask anybody for help. So I was just kind of like, how can I get there? Like, I want to go to college. I want to do all of these things. I want to improve my lifestyle for my kids as well in the future. I don't have any right now, but eventually I want a family. And so I don't want to have to move out of California either. Yeah. Like, you see so many of our friends, family members moving to Arizona, Texas, and it's like, we're kind of being pushed out of the areas that we grew up in.
You're right.
And like, we got to hustle harder to stay here.
You're right.
But that's the goal, you know? So
you're right on that. It is super hard right here. And people are even up like Riverside areas getting a little, people are starting to move more farther, and it is hard. It sucks because we do need, I mean, Santana's like a lot of it's a lot of raza, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But little by little, it's changing, and the way things are going, a lot of us aren't educated. A lot of us don't have high-paying jobs, because right now, you need to make at least $40 to own a home, at least, and you're already struggling. Like $40 an hour, you're struggling. It's hard, but hopefully, you know, that's cool that's what you, what do you say, like, you're trying to achieve. I don't know. Do you have a house?
No, I don't.
Oh, okay,
that's my eventual goal. You know, I feel like we have to invest in ourselves and in our futures. And, you know, whether or not you have a minimum wage job or you have a career where you have some type of certification, I mean, either way, like you said, it's still hard to own a home.
Yeah, it really is.
It's like a very long-term investment, and it's almost like you almost can't be too materialistic.
Yep.
You know, you have to save like every dollar to get to that end goal, but I mean, that's really what matters at the end of the day, not like kind of, oh, let me put all this money into this nice car, you know. And it's like, well, why not buy a home instead?
Yes, you're right. You're right, because people are buying even cars right now. If you buy a new one, $50,000-$60,000.
Yeah, or they're leasing. Yeah. And it's like, well, I know it looks nice right now, but like, where are you gonna be in 5 years with that car? So it's just like a matter of like weighing the pros and cons of trying to look good or trying to live good, like, you know. So it's tough. Yeah,
I get it, but that's good that you still have that in mind, because you look young. I mean, I don't know how old you are, but you look young, and that's what we need. We need young people to think like that, and even old people, because sometimes when we're younger, we don't have that. Nobody teaches us that, you know, and we gotta learn it, especially. Like the people that I know myself, like, I had my parents, but they only were limited to certain things. We're limited to certain things, and all we're taught is to work, but we're not taught to save money. My parents couldn't force me to go to school, because they were like, oh, we don't even have an education, you know. So they just put in my head work. But even work is hard, you know, because it's hard to save money, and then you don't make money, and it's hard. But that's good that you're in that. Your mind state is over there, especially being, you know, raza. You're raza, and good thing I brought you, because I do want to bring also ladies, women, or sometimes I say girls, you know, just like you said. I don't know how to.
Yeah, I know it's
woman,
cool.
You know, I don't know if I should say woman, lady, but girl, but a teenager, but you know, that's good, because I think I want to bring more women in here to speak out too. I do have some girls, women, and they were real good, but I just think we need I also want to push it that way, because this podcast is more not just raza, but raza, you know, girl or boy, and we need to do like showcase everything.
Yeah, I agree. And I think right now, especially for Latinas, Chicanas, there are a lot of women that are kind of making it for themselves, whether, you know, you say fame or money, but I don't necessarily think that they're good influences.
Yeah, okay.
You know what I mean?
In what way?
I mean, okay, so we can start going into the hip-hop realm if we want to.
Yes, anywhere. Take it wherever you want.
I feel like right now a lot of us are so invested in social media and other types of media as well, you know, whether it's TV or photography, whatever. And you could be making a lot of money off of like OnlyFans, or, you know, modeling, or being in music, whatever type of media you prefer. But not everyone can do that, or not everyone wants to do that. So like, what are other ways that Latinas, Chicanas can become successful? Or like, who else can we get advice from? So I feel like that's also difficult. And also, you know, I personally feel like a lot of women feel the need to have, you know, modifications to themselves in order to feel or be successful. And it's kind of like a split kind of society right now with that. You know, some people are like, oh no, you should be natural, or you know, it's okay to get plastic surgery, or, you know, beauty modifications, whatever you want to call it. But I think we need more, you know, positive role models that are natural, that are working hard, that are promoting a conscientious message. Because again, like, you don't see that, but the people that want that need it.
Yes.
So
there isn't a lot of that, and it's true, because in the rap game, I mean, I follow all rap, not all rap, but if you want to call it black rap, hip hop, Chicano rap, and all. Just to be honest, when it comes to girls, that's what you see. You know, it's more rare that you see a girl fully dressed singing or rapping. You know? And I think too, I'm like, that's to each their own. But I have a daughter, so it's like, I want her to learn something. I would want her to learn something else. You know.
Yeah.
But you also take pictures. I mean, from what I've seen, you're a model, right?
Yeah, I feel like that helped me connect with the Chicano community as well, because the majority of the photographers I worked with are Latino. Yeah. So that's their art, and a lot of it I was able to showcase like my style, work with like lowrider clubs, car clubs, and I think that just helped me expand my circle more too, and create like close connections to people and create like art that we feel connected to. So, and that's something else that you don't necessarily get. Like if you're just doing like a photo shoot for the fuck of it or for OnlyFans, like there's not a community or like a connection behind that. Like that's just for you or for your own personal use.
Because I was looking at your stuff, and well, to be honest, like I said, when you look at other models, they show a lot of things, and I'm like, well, this is cool. For the most of them, you're fully dressed, you know. And that's to me, that's respectable. I mean, if you gotta go a different route, but don't let it be that your only route, you know. That's how I see it, you know. I get it. We all gotta try different things, and I respect that. I saw that. Well, I scroll down, you know. Once it gives me ideas what to talk about. What got you into into modeling? If that is that what I can call it? Modeling?
I guess I don't really. I call myself a model because I'm not professional. Like I'm not part of a company, but I think you can call it modeling. That's what everyone calls it now. You know, IG models. But I actually didn't have social media for a few years.
Oh, wow.
I felt like it wasn't good for my mental health. I didn't feel like it was making me productive. Like I wasn't doing anything on there. Like I'm just watching people's stories or looking at their posts, and I just felt like, why am I doing this? So I didn't have it for like 3 or 4 years. And then like I really wanted to get serious about music. And so I was like, all right, so it's not like how it was back in the day. You know, make your mixtape, burn your CDs, whatever it might be, and then you go to some music stores, try to push your shit. Or, you know, even like a few years ago and still now in Hollywood, you have people giving you like CDs on the street. That was more prevalent. But now it's like you can't get anywhere unless you're on social media. Maybe you could, but it's just different. It's different. And so I knew that that's what I needed to do. I needed to get on there. And so, you know, here I am now a few years later. And that's just kind of why I went back to social media, why I decided to use it to help me promote. And
so you do rap too, right?
Yes.
What did you do before then? Rap before
I think I've always been interested in music, and growing up, like at a very young age, I'm talking like elementary, middle school, I was still writing music. I was writing songs.
You sing?
I do, but I'm not the best.
Oh, okay. But you do sing.
Yeah.
You try to vocalize something, not rap it.
Yeah, if I need vocals, I can do it.
That's cool.
But I think with rap, with hip hop, like you can say so much more than singing. And with singing, it's like I just feel like it limited me. You know, I didn't feel like it was even the genre I wanted to be in, because what would it have been? You know, R&B. I mean, I like writing poetry. I like conscientious music, and I felt like hip hop could give that to me. Like whatever I felt needed to be talked about. And of course there's gonna be party music too. You know, like G-Funk is a lot of like West Coast like party scene or cruising, and that's what I love. I grew up on that.
Is that what you try to rap over, or do you switch it? Do you actually go to like that hip hop style, or do you switch it up?
I like to switch it up. I think G-Funk is like really fun, and I do like it, but it's easier for me to write conscientious music or like boom bap and like even East Coast style. I totally dig that. Like I can down with that, but in the beginning, it's almost like you feel like you can't put out your full heart and emotions out there. You know, like I'm just kind of like easing into it, and it's like, all right, let me just fuck around, make this fun song with this producer and release it. You know, like I still like it, it's still me, but it's not my full personality out there yet. I feel like you just gotta slowly move into it.
So how long you say you've been doing it for? Since maybe how many years you say?
Okay, taking it seriously, maybe 3 or 4, to where I'm like building my audience, buying equipment, learning how to produce, how to engineer. But writing and like that thought of like, this is what I want to do, 10 years. You know, so.
That's that's a good run, you know. It's a good run because I've been doing this since I was 14. I'm almost gonna be 50. Not just playing.
I was like, you don't look 50.
No. I've been doing this since I was 13, 14.
Yeah.
And some people don't. It still takes time to actually learn what a song is. You know, I'm not saying I'm good or stuff, but I think I know how to write a song if I really put my thought into it, and like a hook, a verse, and how to write it. You know, it's not just writing it and spitting it. You know, it takes practice. You have to study it. You have to study music too to really know how to put a song. You know.
Definitely, there's a structure to it, and you don't have to follow that structure. You can do whatever you want, but when you want people to start like getting into your music, it's easier for them to consume it when it's similar to something they already know. And that kind of sucks because I feel like more creativity comes later down the line, like after you've built an audience. It's kind of like you don't want to be too out there yet, you know, or like too unique, too out of the box. Because it's just like you want people to just like first see you, get to know you, you know, feel comfortable with it.
Like to see how it goes, pretty much. Is that what you mean?
Yeah,
like,
or
see
just
how it goes.
Yeah.
What kind of tension I get. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, I mean, I'm never gonna compromise like the quality or like what I write about because I need views or because people don't like it. But I guess where I'm going with it is like, all right, let me just introduce you to myself. Yeah. Like, that's it. Like, let me just introduce you to myself. That's cool. This is who I am. And then after I can get a little more deep with, like, myself, because then people know you. Yeah. It's just like with any artist that you've ever kind of, like, just started to look up to them or really get into their music. Yeah. You know, that first song that you heard. And then everything else. The more you go,
it gets better, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Well, like we were talking about earlier, the first time I did hear you was through, I don't know Empinano. I don't know him.
Okay, yeah.
For some reason, I started following him. I'm like, oh, because he's from Santana, you know, and he makes music. Cool. And I did ask him once or twice, hey, you're down? He said, I'm not ready right now, you know?
Yeah.
And then I saw him post you or working with you, you know, something like that.
Yeah.
And then it was, I don't know if it was coincidence, but, well, yeah, you call it coincidence, right? I met you at lowrider thing.
No Man's Land?
No Man's Land.
Yeah.
And I didn't, well, because of Mike Kempstead. Shout out to Mike Kempstead, you know. He started talking to you.
Yeah.
And then it clicked to me, you know. Oh, shoot, that's Diverse Chicana.
Yeah.
I follow her because that's how I know you guys. And then I got your Instagram, I think. And then, you know what? Recently, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to hit her up. So once again, thank you. Shout out to Mike and Empinano too. I don't know him, but shout out to him because of him I saw you.
No, he's really dope. We're close. Like, he's my homie. And
okay.
It would just happen that he's producing, and I was like, yeah, like, let's do it. Let's create. Let's just get together and put some shit out there, and, you know, whatever happens.
He's putting his name out there, you know.
He's
putting his name
out
there. Even his homie, I think his name is Osco. Been chit chatting, so we might do some stuff together. But yeah, they're through them, and shout out to them, and you're here now. I call it coincidence or destiny, but it all, you know, it was. But I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna hit her up, and I wish, you know what, I should have checked your music out more. I don't know, where can I find your music in reality? YouTube. Okay.
Ceslee G.
I didn't think about it, you know. But if you can, once we're done with this, if you could text it to me, that way I look it up, and I would have loved to actually study that too, you know. That way I have more to talk about. But maybe for next time, you know, at least. But I do want to support. I am a believer of supporting your raza, you know, especially like from Santana, you know.
Yeah.
I'm not a hater. I mean, we all hate every once in a while, you know.
Everyone's a little bit of a hater.
Yeah. But I try not to show hate or like step on people, whether you're good or not. I'm like, hey, you know what? Because I'm good or not. You know what I mean? I don't know if I'm good or not. So it's the same, you know. We gotta think like that. Yeah,
it's all subjective. I think like someone sent me their song and it was like some heavy metal, and I don't listen to that, but I still was like, oh, I'll listen to it, I'll like it, but again, like, it's not gonna be my playlist. But I'm here to support.
Yeah.
So that's.
I mean, unless it's good, then it's like all right.
Yeah.
I dig it. So let me ask you this: do you consider yourself Chicana rap? I mean, Chicano rap.
That's hard.
You see, I know. You know, I don't think. I don't know if you follow the Chicano rap scene.
Yeah.
But that's like a topic, you know, or Chicano rapper. I'm not a Chicano rapper. Yeah. But I don't think I've heard anybody say to a woman, "Are you Chicana rap?"
Yeah.
Or Chicano rap, you know?
Yeah. I also have like thought about what you just said a lot, because I think it's easy to get pigeonholed when you rap in Spanish, or if you automatically just start saying like, yeah, I'm a Chicano rapper, you're gonna get pigeonholed. Not saying that's a bad thing, but hip hop is very diverse. You know, originally hip hop comes from funk. So
you
know the origins are from African American music, black music, so we can't deny that. And a lot of hip hop was sampled from funk, from the breaks. Like that's how you got hip hop. So for me, that's what I grew up on, and I feel like my style is more close to just general hip hop. I wouldn't say it's like Chicano rap. I mean, there are elements in it, you know, because of our culture, the lowrider culture. There are still those elements, but
it's us.
Yeah, we share that culture, which I think is really cool. But yeah, I wouldn't say I'm like a Latina rapper or Chicana rapper. I am that, but that's not just the style of my music. Yeah.
Because I'm not ashamed, you know. Like if I rap, like I said, I do rap. I do make music. And to myself, because nobody listens to me, but you know what I mean. But I'm not ashamed. You know what? I'm a Chicano rapper, but I'm hip hop. I even have a lyric that says hip hop, Chicano rap, or gangster shit. Call it what you want. Yeah. Me, I'm just me. Yeah. That's one of the only lyrics I remember, because I don't remember none of them.
Well, it's hard to remember your songs all the time. Yeah. That's one thing. You gotta like practice your own music.
So how did you get into music?
Well, I think it was just like the influence of my family, my community. Like if you're from Santa Ana, like you grew up around funk. Even if you didn't listen to it on your own, it's there. Yes. Like you will hear it on the street, you'll hear it in your own neighborhood. And my parents played funk all the time. Nice. Like I get it from them. I get it from my grandparents too.
Are you what generation are you?
Okay, that depends on the grandparent.
Oh, okay.
I've met 14 of my grandparents.
14 of your grandparents?
Yep.
How's that?
I've met my great-great-grandparents on both sides of my family. Nice. So I'm very like aware of my background, but for the most part, I'm like 4th and 5th generation out of Santa Ana, depending on the grandparent. Yeah. Wow. So like we're deep in this bitch. But nice. Yeah. So for me, like Chicana is just more representative of like who I am versus like anything else, Mexican, Latina, whatever. And like that just was the biggest influence, and listening to hip hop artists and like feeling like damn, like I can connect to what they're saying, like I can understand that. And then it's like when you grow up on funk and you listen to songs that are like hip hop or rap, you're like, oh, I know what song they sampled. Yeah. Oh, I know what artist they got that from. And some people don't know that. Yeah. They're like, oh, I didn't know that there was an original song. I'm like, yeah, there's something they got that from, you know. So to me, like that was fascinating. Yeah, because it was sampled for a long time. You know? It went. Yes. Even like Snoop Dogg. Yeah. And that generation still sampled funk. Yeah. Like I mean, people are doing it now still, but in the mainstream world, I mean, they still sample it. Even some songs in the radio have some funk, but now they switch it on the radio. They switch it, but a lot of it still has funk. Yeah. Were your parents? How did your parents or your grandparents or brothers influence you? Did they influence you to? Because I'll be honest, I'm not gonna lie. Like, my dad was kind of a Pachuco type guy. Mm-hmm. My dad was born in Mexico. He came here young, but he got involved in the lowrider scene. Okay. So in the gangs and stuff. Yeah. So that style kind of, because he would listen. He didn't know English, but he would listen to oldies and funk. Yeah. So he understood that. Yeah. And he would say, I'm more Chicano than I am Mexican. Mm-hmm. I'm more from here than I am from over there, because. So that influenced me. So that's what I'm saying. How did that influence you? Who influenced you, or how did? Yeah, I think my grandparents, because they're from Santa Ana, like, and they were part of car clubs, and like this style, like this was their style too.
That's the original style.
Yes, exactly. And that was just normal to me growing up. And same with my parents. Like, this is just like, it's comfortable. And like, it's funny because like people outside of the culture like just say this is a flannel, but it's like, it's a Pendleton. You know what I mean? Like, it's different. It's not just a flannel. So I think, it was just my family influencing my style. And I don't have brothers. I just have one sister. My cousins, like, most of them are younger than me, but again, like, similar dress. Just family and community. And this is what you see growing up, like going to the store, driving down the street, like there were always like car shows or people cruising. The swap meet, like that's a huge thing. The swap meet, that's where everyone kind of like comes together for music, and everyone has a similar sense of fashion. That's just part of the culture. So
and were you involved in gangs?
No. I won't speak too much on that, but I
mean, because it's Santana. You're not in gangs, but were you a troublemaker?
Yeah.
Are you a troublemaker? I don't know.
All right, so I'll just say that you can have friends that are troublemakers, but you know what you want for yourself.
Good.
So,
smart.
And whether or not my family was or is, to me, that's separate from what I want for my life. Like, you kind of learn from your family's mistakes. You have to. Otherwise, it's like, I know how I grew up, and I know how I don't want my kids to grow up. And I think it's hard to separate the culture from like what people call crime or gang activity. That's what kind of sucks too. It's like automatically like you almost feel like you have to like code switch with people in certain settings, when we should be able to be ourselves and wear what we want, because this isn't necessarily like gang related. It's not. That's what's hard about it.
It's a shirt.
It's a shirt. It's just a style. Just like people that are surfers wear like rip curl and like billabong or but if they were freaking, there are a lot of crackheads out there that live on the beach. Like,
you're right.
They could wear that same stuff, but we're not.
Yes.
It's decent, or it's okay to wear that, and you're not going to get judged per se. So
well, that's good that you're saying that.
Yeah.
Because I had this question for you, because I don't, like I said, I haven't had. Yeah, I've had raza, because to me it's like Mexican, Chicano. To me it's the same. So whether I say Chicano or Mexican, I'm meaning the same. But to you, what is a Chicana? Not a Chicano, because I'm talking to you as a...
Yeah.
I want your answer as a woman.
Okay, as a woman.
To you, what is a Chicana?
Yeah.
Let me get there first, because I do talk to myself on the camera once in a while and upload it,
That's okay.
I know. So I give my own opinions, and I say, what's a Chicano? You know what I mean? What is a Chicano? Because a lot of people assume Chicano is a gangster.
Exactly.
But in reality, that's not what it is,
Yeah.
Just to throw it out there, one guy, Julio Cesar Chavez wasn't a gangster.
Mm-hmm.
So what is to you as a Chicano? Or Chicano, same, at the end, but as a woman.
Yeah, I think Chicanas have a little more pride for what they are. Like you put it out there more. Like, I'm this, like I'm that. I feel like there's a lot of confidence when you have that like mindset of being Chicana. And obviously, like this is probably more of like a man's outfit, wearing baggier clothes. And I think a lot of it too is like, I do feel more comfortable wearing this than like something that's like more tight or skimpy, whatever you want to call it, because I feel like I'm more protected. Like, I feel stronger in these types of clothes. I feel like that's what it's about too. Like, the strength you get from your community, having just pride from where you come from, and like the struggles you've been through. And I think a lot of it is tied together. Like, if I didn't grow up around lowriders or listening to a specific type of music, whatever activities you do with your friends, your homegirls, then maybe I would just say Mexican. And I think that's just a lot of it comes from being from Santa Ana too. It's like, that's unique. I always tell people, this city is unique. Like, you know when someone's from Santana or they're from somewhere else. Like, you kind of just know. Like, it has its own culture, just this city alone. Like, I think that's all tied together. And I think a lot of people originally kind of identified as Chicano or Chicana because they were, either born in California, first generation, and they kind of you know, separated a little bit from the traditions of Mexico, and you kind of had a different culture than your parents, and that could have been a generation gap. But I have the same culture as my parents, so that's kind of like, this generation's a little different from what Chicano used to mean, you know. So
I think that's just what it is, because like if you follow probably, let's just say, the old school Chicano mentality was more of an activist mentality. Yeah. You know, and like I said, I don't know how it transcended to cholos, you know. Yeah. Which is cool, you know, because let's just say the lowrider scene and all that, that is considered Chicano style, you know, which I get it, and the majority of street people, that's where it comes from, you know. But yeah, I know there's doctors that say they're Chicanos, you know. There's lawyers that say they're Chicanos, nurses, teachers, that are still have that Chicano pride in them, and they have nothing to do with lowriders, graffiti, gangs, you know. And I just say, that's why también I say this, las different voices, because there is more to us as Chicanos, as Mexicanos, you know, and I want to showcase that, you know. Do you still go to school?
I do. Oh, okay, yeah. So I'm still in school full time. I have a year left, and I just, you know, I'm still trying to hustle with music, because I feel like I'm not really looking for fame. I don't care if I make $3 million or $3,000 off of music. Like, this is for me. Yeah. This is for me to connect to my community, to like achieve my dream. Like, it's all for me. I don't really give a fuck what other people think of it, or if I'm getting 1 million views or 1,000. Like,
is it like therapeutic?
It's therapeutic, and it's just like one of the best feelings when you finish a song. Like, working with like-minded people too. Like, I've met so many cool people that I can connect with. Like, this is one of the last, I feel like, areas of art, at least, you know, thinking nationwide, where like Chicanos are connecting. It's like through painting, graffiti, music. Like, we have art that we can connect through, you know. And it's a, because
we started a lot of it. There's a lot of history out there that we don't know, we don't educated on. But art, I once saw a commercial that said this was like when I was a kid, and I remember this, the first graffiti written was by, and it said something like that, art was in an LA alley by a young boy who was tagging his stuff, you know, but he did a mural type stuff, which was representing his neighborhood, but pretty much stating that Mexicans are the ones that started graffiti, you know. So we do have a lot of like art. It's heavily any art, just that, like you said, hip hop is we just, I think, incorporated into it when we already had it, you know. It wasn't like invented by us, but we incorporated into it. What are you studying?
So I am a kinesiology major, so I'm getting into occupational therapy.
What is that?
Yeah, that's the question of the times everyone asks me that. So basically, you help people get back to their daily activities. So if it's in a hospital setting, someone had like a stroke or a traumatic brain injury, whatever it might be, your job is to help them get their functioning back, make sure that they can go get dressed safely, that they can go to the bathroom, take a shower safely. So but then I want to work with kids, so like it would kind of be the same. You have different, you know, goals that you're focusing on with kids, but I just feel like it's really important for me to help the youth. Like that is like my main goal. You know, I want to do something with kids. I want to make sure that like they get on the right path, they get what they need, and that's just something that's really important to me.
That's cool. So is it like the medical field?
It's the medical field.
Consider the medical field?
Yeah, it is.
And therapeutic. What did you say the? Okay, what was it called again? The degree?
So it'll be a degree in occupational therapy in the end when I finish.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So yeah, it's pretty much like if someone gets injured, you just, that's what you mean, bringing them back to their normal. Yeah. Whether it's. Yeah.
It could be any injury.
An injury or mental or something.
Yeah.
Okay, I get it. Well, that's cool. And you said you have one more year?
Yep. Yeah. So almost done.
How many years?
Well, I've been in school for about 6 years now.
Oh wow.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's hard.
Hard
it's
work,
not
yeah.
easy. You're investing money into this, but you have to like kind of look at the light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah.
And I was always like, all right, well, I could work minimum wage and kind of like work my way up at any job, you know what I mean? And you could work at a bank, for the city, whatever. But I just knew that like long term, if I did that, I would not be able to stay here. Like, that's my goal. Like, I want to stay where my roots are.
Yeah.
That's super important to me. And that's hard. I'm sure it's hard for a lot of people, like, right now, and feeling like, shit, like, what am I going to do? You know, I don't want to have that question, like, what am I going to do? So.
Well, yeah, it's hard for all the youth.
Yeah.
Because I'm still a generation where it's like our parents, well, not my parents, but pretty much the people that have houses, like the older people, had it from before, and they got for years already. Let's just say 20 years. But it's like their kids. What are they gonna do? Which is us, you know?
Yeah.
You, me. I had my house, you know, but things happen. But now it's like, oh shoot, it's gonna be super hard now to get another one. I get it. It was hard to get that one.
Yeah.
You know, it was super hard, and now it's even harder.
It is.
But it's not impossible.
It's not impossible. It just, you have to go the extra mile.
Yeah.
And it's not a necessity to live over here. Like, it's not. It's just, you know, everyone has a different preference, and I just feel like connected. Like, it would be hard for me to leave. And I mean, there are a lot of Chicanos that are in like the Southwest right now. Like, I'm starting to see more and more like car shows popping up, and I'm like, that's cool. Like, they're creating a community there. But like this, I'm just homegrown, like born and raised here. Like, it's just hard to leave.
What schools did you go to?
I went to school in Garden Grove, and right now I'm in Carson.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So like in LA.
Where do you go to school?
What
school is it?
Should I reveal that on here?
Why not? You know.
Are there stalkers out there?
Nah, not that I know of.
I go to Dominguez Hills.
Oh, okay.
So,
I've been there. I've worked there before.
Yeah, it's a really dope school, and the reason it was founded is like.
I'm not gonna follow.
Okay.
I don't know.
No, not you. I know. Just, you know, I will be honest. Like, there are some crazy people that have like DM'd me or threatened me, and that's just part of life. I mean, it's not part of life, but it's part of the life of a woman who, I guess, I'm putting myself out there. You know, I'm trying to get into music. I'm posting photos, and I don't owe anybody anything. Like, I don't owe any of them anything. I don't know them. If you want to follow me, like, that's your choice. Yeah. But I don't need to reply to you. I don't need to tell you anything about me, give you my number. So I think that's the part where all these people online, like, the ones with mental health conditions, obviously, or too much pride and like possession over women, are like getting a little crazy, you know. So. No,
well, thank you for answering me. It is hard to, because I get it too. I'm like, if I hit them up, they're gonna probably be like, or I don't know, if, like how many guys hit you up. So it's like, I'm probably just gonna be another guy in that list. So I get it. But yeah, once again, thank you for coming by. I appreciate it. And for replying, you know, and we made it happen. So thank you once again. Yeah. So, because I work right there in, I think, Dominguez Hills. Is it Compton?
Yeah. It's Compton, so that general area, that school like was just founded during like a time when that community was rebelling, and it's kind of been like. That this is maybe the most diverse place I've been to in terms of like where there are a lot of Latinos and there are a lot of Black people like going to school together. And like there's a lot of cultural events there, and like just a general understanding of like like we've all struggled together, you know.
That, I mean, how do you see that?
Like, just,
is it cool? Like is it a cool scene?
Yeah.
Because obviously I don't hang out with too many Black people, you know. I know a few, and they've been cool with me, but being in a scene, like going to school every day, and like you said, events, cultural events, or what is it? What do you see there?
You know, the show This Fool?
Yeah.
Okay, Julio, you know, the one with the comb over?
Yeah.
Okay, so he was there at the school.
Oh, for real?
He was doing like a talk. Unfortunately, I couldn't make it, but stuff like that. Like, there are Chicanos going, and it's just like you see people who are successful that are like you, and you know, that's everybody needs to see that.
Oh yeah, that's dope. I'm probably gonna go speak there when I just play. No, but that's cool. Like I said, and for whoever watches this, that's why I say throw the school out there, because that way we need more people to go to school. You know what I mean?
We do.
I went to school for a little while, and unfortunately work and everything, I couldn't do it. I still could. I think about it, but like I said, I think it's important. You know what I mean? That we all get educated in one way or another. I don't think school is the most important thing, but I still say that's not. I just don't believe school is what makes us as a person, but it does open our mind, you know. And I think we do need it as a culture too. I think we do need it. I'm always been for school, you know. Like I said, I have a daughter, and I would want her to go far, you know. Go far in her studies, because it is important. I learned a lot from school, and I wish I could have learned more. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think that school is not necessary. Like you were saying, you don't need to be in school to become successful. Yeah. I think you should pursue higher education if you have a plan, because I'm like seeing a lot of people that have degrees and they can't get a job still, or like they're working somewhere that doesn't require a degree to work. And it's like, well, like, are you going into debt for this degree? And like, what are you gonna make from it? So for me, I had that game plan. I'm like, all right, I'm not gonna be investing thousands of dollars into an education unless it's gonna go somewhere. So, you know, I had that plan of like, what am I gonna do with it, and like, where am I gonna work? How much money am I gonna make? And again, it's not all about money, but
we need it.
That exactly. You need it to be comfortable. You need it for your kids, if you want them to have health care, if you want them to have braces. Like I think about all those little things. It's not just like, oh yeah, you're being materialistic. No, you need money for your health too. So yeah, it's not necessary to be successful, but you can do self-learning as well. Like you can read books, you can watch documentaries, you can look at research online. Yes. And that's how you educate yourself. You know, you don't have to pay. Yeah, we have a lot of free resources.
What do you say for girls your age? Because like I said, when I was going to school, there was guys older than me in their 50s, 60s, you know, and it's like, I wonder if they couldn't come or they're just coming again. But what do you say to a young girl younger than you and a girl your age and above regarding education, as a woman?
As a woman, the first thing I'll say is that education and setting yourself up is important, because unfortunately you cannot rely on anybody. Maybe you can rely on your parents or your grandparents, but not everyone has those supports. And also with the way things are and thinking about the past generation, you kind of need your own money. You need to have something that you can rely on, a career. Because let's say you want to leave your spouse for, you know, maybe they're abusive to you, or maybe it's not working out. You don't want to have to stay in a relationship due to financial factors. Yeah. You want to be able to leave as you please and make sure you're safe. That's another reason why I wanted to have something so bad. I did not want to be in an abusive relationship. Not that I would choose somebody like that, but sometimes it happens.
Yeah, you never know.
You know, I want to have I want to be able to rely on myself. So if you can take the leap and go to school, if you can, you know, take out that loan or see if you qualify for financial aid or a small portion of it, like just do it. The long-term benefits will always outweigh the short-term. And you know, instant gratification is addictive. There were times I did work for a full year, you know, like overtime and all that, and like just getting money is nice. Just having money and being like, okay, I'm gonna get my check in 2 weeks. I have my money right there. But it's not sustainable. If you have the opportunity to go to school, like make it happen. Or if you need to get that certification in something, make it happen. It doesn't always have to be school. Just push it to the next level. Like don't get comfortable. That's what I say. Don't get comfortable. Like comfort zones kill you. They limit you. It is nice to be just, I have this job. I know everybody here. I know what to do. I'm just gonna stay here.
And it happens a lot.
Yeah,
and it does. It happens a lot in the community. I mean, now we're as you probably know, we're starting to make different moves. A lot of people are, but there's still a majority. The majority is still, can you call it, suppressed mentally? You know what I mean? Because we get too comfortable. We get too comfortable, and in my opinion, we gotta keep elevating. Doesn't matter if you work at McDonald's, but don't get stuck making the fries. You know, move up and learn something from there. And if you can't stay there, then go to the next bigger, better burger spot, you know, and or make your own burgers. That's how I see it, you know, eventually, but not in one. Don't get stuck making fries, pretty much. Just like anywhere, you know, in anything.
Like you were saying, like reach higher. You can become the manager eventually. Like reach for that. Reach for the highest position out of your current station. Like whatever you have the possibility of doing. There are circumstances that limit everybody. Not everyone has the same circumstances. Like that could be a lot of things, but
and it's not easy, right?
Yeah, it's not easy.
Or is it? I don't know.
It's not. I mean, I've always loved learning. For me, it's like, I don't know, I need to know things. There have been a lot of things that I've went through in this life that if I hadn't done some self-learning, I wouldn't have gotten out of those certain situations. And you know, whether it was mental health or something I was dealing with like physically in my life, like I was able to kind of like get myself out of it through self-learning. And you know, I think a lot of people can do that, but it takes courage to also confront, you know, shit in front of you. It's not easy. So
self-learning is important. I think that's why I kind of mean education is important. And I do push for it. But like I said, it's if you don't self-educate or you're not really gonna get nowhere. You know, you have to also see what's around you. That's how I see it. What are you working on right now in regards to, are you working on music? Are you currently working on music?
Yes. So I
real
have
quick,
a few.
before I go there.
Okay.
What influenced you? What kind of rap influenced you?
Wow, that's a hard question.
Funk and stuff like that, but in regards to a name.
Oh man, I don't have favorites. That's the hard thing about like when people ask me that, because I'll name drop, but it's like that's like maybe just one of many, and everyone has different styles. Personally, this is up for debate, but DJ Quick, I think he's one of the best producers, and he can rap too.
Yes.
You don't get that from a lot of people.
No, he's real good. I study him a lot too. And if you really study him, I like rappers that don't really say the same thing. He doesn't really say the same things in a different song. You know what I mean? Yeah. But what do you pick up from him?
Well, I think there's that G-Funk sound. Like that to me is like Southern California. Like that's kind of like the epitome of like old school cruising music is DJ Quick. And then you got Sugar Free. And I wouldn't say I didn't pick up on his cadence or anything. He's obviously extremely unique. And it's kind of hard to replicate that and make it sound good, because he just sounds good on a beat.
It's him.
It's him. But just like you know, his beats, and just kind of like being a little underground still. Not going with the flow. That's the thing I respect when artists go against the grain and are just true to themselves still. You know? So
that's cool. Only him?
Oh no, there are a lot.
Name one more.
All right, how about a group?
You said Sugar Free, but
Above the Law.
Oh, okay.
The group, like, because you know what? Again, the beats, the rawness, the just like, I don't know. It's just,
I grew up on Above the Law.
Yeah, it's unique.
Let me see one of the songs. Forget it. I was gonna try to hum the song because I don't know the name, but you probably heard it. Indonesia.
Yeah, and I think their most mainstream is like Ghetto Superman, right? And then you got like VSOP.
VSOP is a good one.
That's like just straight up like G-Funk, like I don't know, stuff like that. But then they have some more serious songs, more conscientious about, you know, what they're going through. And I think you need that mixture as an artist.
What about Chicano rap?
All right.
Do you listen to that? Do you?
I do, but again, like sometimes I don't dig some of it.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily like I don't know. Again, I'm not gonna be a hater. I support, but
yeah. No, I get it.
Yeah, you know, it's hard. It's hard when you like a certain style. Like you try to get into others, and I mean, like Psycho Realm. All right, I feel like they're just like a good example of Chicanos being in hip hop and not just making it only for Latinos. That's kind of what I meant earlier. I don't want my music to only be for Chicanos and Latinos. I want like everyone to be able to relate and enjoy to it. And of course, my music is going to be tainted with my experiences and being Chicana. But, you know, hip hop in general, like everyone gravitated to hip hop. Like that's just the cool thing about it. So
do you listen to like let's just say Little Rock?
Yeah, I've seen him perform like twice in concert.
Oh, yeah? Cool.
I took a picture with him.
Do you consider him hip hop? Like
that's
aside from everything, take the label Chicano rap off him.
Yeah, I think he's hip hop.
Yeah, I think so too. Let me see one more. Because there's some that just like, even if you take the label out of it, it's their creativity. You know what I mean? That's how I see it. The what they put together. Let me see. Do you like Triple C? Have you heard of him?
Yeah. See, that's the thing. Like, I can get into the specifics of artists and tell you why I don't or do like them. And I'd rather just talk about, like, I guess, the positives of artists.
It's okay. I mean, we have a right to say why you don't like them either.
Exactly. I think there are a lot of artists that, it's not that I don't like them. It's just, I don't feel like a connection, or I'm just like, oh, yeah, like, they're dope, but I just don't have their music in my playlist, you know. But like if someone else is playing, I'll be like, yeah, like I vibe with it, I'll rock with it, you know. Aside
from funk and rap, and oldies, maybe, because you like oldies.
Oh yes, of course.
Okay. What else would you put on your playlist? What kind of music?
You know, I like reggae. I can fuck with it, and like island music. I feel like that's also like, think about us and how close we are to our community and our culture. You know, I think of like Hawaii and like just those types of communities. They also have such a strong culture that they're still trying to like show to the world. And to me, I really fuck with that when people are like very true to their culture still. And R&B still, like, you know, Keith Sweat. I mean, of course.
Oh, okay, you're into R&B.
Oh yeah. I think that's another thing too that kind of influenced me, is like the artistry of R&B, like being a real singer, you know, being a songwriter. And a lot of that music is very emotional, and it's hard to be a singer too. Like, you got to keep your shit on point with your voice. So I respect that. Do
you have tracks of you singing?
No, not singing.
Oh, okay.
No,
okay.
yeah.
Because I would want to check that out too if you had it.
I wish. I didn't keep up with it. It's like there's so many things to learn. Like, what do you choose? What do you choose to improve your skills with? Yeah. Like, that's the hard part too. And
do you record for the most part your own music?
Yeah. Okay. So I have a few songs that I'm working on alone, and those I'm recording, I'm editing on my own, and then with MP Neno, I record with him, and I mean that's a faster process because he's just, you know, yeah. And for me, it's still a learning process, and I am aware of what I need to do, and you know, I'm not incompetent when it comes to DAWs and like recording. Like, I bought all my own equipment, I know how to use it, but you need to have an ear, you know, for mastering vocals, beats. Like, you need to have an ear for it, and that's the hard part for me, is like developing that fine-tuning aspect, and like, oh, does this sound good? Do I like this? It does. It takes years, you know. But I'm just glad that I'm able to speak on it. You know, I'm not just like, oh, hitting up people, hey, let me record. Like, I'm trying to figure out the mechanics behind it, the whole process. You know, not just one piece. Because
who else? Who have you worked with? I mean, if have you worked with anybody else besides MP Nano?
Like in terms of like rappers,
music, rappers, producers. Whether they're your homies or whether they're somebody actually doing something.
Yeah, so there's this artist in Germany. He's really good. He's a producer and he's a rapper. His name's Lil Monsta. I have like 2 songs with him. Okay. He knows how to use the talk box, which, I mean, to me, that's pretty dope. Like,
how did you get connected with him?
Instagram. Oh, wow. Yeah, just like through the same communities, culture, following the same people. And it's crazy because, like, again, like in other countries, there are people that are like with the Chicano culture, and I'm just like, damn, like that's very unique. And like, why are you guys like latching onto it?
It's weird.
It is. That's how I say it's weird.
I don't know if you see the Vietnamese and Japanese. They have the Virgen tattooed on them, and it's like, you know, like doggers. I used to have 1968 Impala, right? I built it with my dad. Damn. But I had to sell it for unfortunate reasons. Long story. Not long story, but it's a story. And I was like, I don't want to sell it around here in Santana. Because I don't want to see nobody driving this car. So a guy from New Zealand bought it.
Whoa, damn.
He's like, I come once a year or something like that. And he's like, it's a scene over there. So he's like, they're worth a lot of money over there. Lowriders, not just any car. They come to buy lowriders. So and he had a La Mirada type style shirt. He was a white guy. Hey, mate, you know how? Hey, mate, how much for your car? I don't know how.
I know what you mean.
But he had a Chicano Calavera type shirt, you know, from from the Mirada type. I was like, okay, I guess cool. Take it. I'd rather take it over there. I don't want to see this car. I don't want to see nobody driving it. But it's a scene. It's a.
I mean, it's pretty crazy because over here, even it feels like it's so not secluded, but you can go to another city and like people won't know why you're dressed that way, or like why you kind of have a different demeanor to you. But then you go to fucking like Germany or Japan, and they're like, they know, and I'm like, all right, it's cool.
So you just work with him via online? I know. I go off topic.
No, it's okay. Online, because I can record my own vocals and send them over. I worked with OG Spanky Loco, like.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Cool.
Like once, you know.
Oh, cool. That's still cool though.
Yeah, I kind of, I'm on my own path right now. Yeah. So for me, like, not that I can't commit to anybody with like music, but I just want to do my own thing first. It's kind of like, I just know what I want and I know what my style is, and I, can't cater to other people, or I won't.
I know what you mean.
I'm not gonna rap in Spanish if I don't want to, or I'm not gonna rap about my body and all that other mainstream shit if I don't want to. So I just stick to myself sometimes because I don't want those expectations on me. Like I don't owe anybody anything again, So.
Because it is different. Like, as you can see, I have a mic over there. I mess around myself, and I always had, just for fun. Like, more of a stress type thing. Not a stress type thing, but you get a lot. You do get a lot. You get something out of it. Even if it's for yourself. But I've worked with friends, just like Mike Kemp's did, and a couple other people locally. But it's still different recording with them,
Definitely.
It's different recording with somebody.
Yeah.
Even if you do a good job, it's still different. Whether it's a cool scene, it's still different than you by yourself.
Yeah.
Because you can actually not worry, practice, take your time. And with other people, they're looking at you, they're hearing you, and that's like.
It's a factor.
So I get it.
Yeah, it's a factor. I feel like I do sound better when I'm by myself, like, because it's more personal. I think it becomes less personal when you're with other people, or you kind of worry like, oh, maybe I shouldn't say that, or maybe I should keep that part to myself. I think it becomes less personal, and that's fine. Like if you are an artist, it can be a little isolating, but that's kind of like the beauty of it. So I don't think it's necessary to always record with other people. That was just part of the music industry, is recording with other people, because they're making money off of you. They're hiring other people to work with you. So that's where it becomes like a party in there in the studio. But I think music is still a very personal process. Yes. So.
Do you what's the last, whatever you written last? What is it about?
Okay, so what I'm working on right now is what I last wrote about, and it's kind of like an overall kind of like questioning what's going on in our city and how the youth might not necessarily be on the right track. So that's where I'm coming at when I talk about conscientious music, because again, like, we want our culture to thrive. Yes. But you look at like cruising and it's banned in a lot of cities, and why? So it's like, how can we show other people that, you know, we need to celebrate that, we need to be a part of that? People put a lot of money into that, and they can't cruise. And so I guess it's just kind of like a culmination of all of us just trying our best to, you know, be authentic to ourselves, and not let other people kind of sway you to acting out of character, you know? So like I'm trying to just be, again, authentic in my music, and some things that genuinely worry me, you know, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, and that's where it's easier to record by yourself.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So I get it, cause then I get it. And are you already in the process of recording that, you said?
I finished recording it, but there's that aspect of like, does this sound good? Yeah. You know, like the vocals. I think that's the hardest part for me. So, you know, it's like everybody does this, I guess. You kind of compare yourself to other artists that you like, okay, how do I want it to sound? Or is this kind of like the volume that I want, the tone that I want, the quality of my voice, do I like it? So again, those are all things that are subjective, but you kind of want to still fit into that style that you want, you know, without it sounding too off. But
have you performed?
I haven't.
No.
That's another fucking battle to come up to.
To get out there.
It's hard.
It is hard.
Yeah, and I'm not shy, like naturally. Like this conversation is easy for me. You know, like I'm not naturally like reserved, but when it comes to that, it's a little more difficult, you know, to kind of put yourself out there like that. And
is it because you're busy? I mean, you do seem like you're doing a lot, not just rap. Yeah. So I think, just my opinion, I rap, like I said, since I was 14. I had books like this, and a lot of them, it was just writing. I didn't even record everything, but I never put my main focus on it. I put more main focus on my job, my school,
Definitely.
So I don't know if that's the case for you.
Yeah, it has been. I feel like music has taken the back burner because I guess at the end of the day, I'm concerned about money, right?
Yes.
Because if I wasn't, I wouldn't be working as hard or going to school. Yeah. Like if I really wasn't worried about money, I wouldn't be doing all that shit. Yeah. But I am. If it was just about doing what I love, like it would all be about music. That would be my plan A, 100%. But it's not. And you know what? That's okay, because people chase fame and money, and that's not why I got into music. Because obviously I'm still doing it. I'm still pursuing it because I want to. Yeah. But yeah, it took the back burner because of, you know, the hours I've been putting in to something else that's gonna make me successful, but in a different way. So I would agree with you.
And that's it makes it cool, because then, like I'm just talking to me.
Yeah.
I would want to be like, hey, and perform and stuff. But like I said, it's either you take it as a job or you don't. But at the same time, you're focusing on your other stuff, and this becomes a hobby. Yeah. Which you enjoy it more because it's your hobby. That's how I see it.
It is like a hobby, but I also am trying to like push it.
Be real about it.
That's the hard thing. It's like, where does that boundary get crossed? And when do you have to become your own manager versus just the artist? And I think that's the tough part too. And again, like it's hard working with other people. You really don't know who to trust. Yeah. So it's just, you got to push yourself and you know, wait for opportunities to come along, and whatever happens. And I think that's when the best comes out, when you don't stress. Because when I'm forcing myself to create, I don't create. Yeah. So
what other arts are you into? Is there any other thing besides rap that you or do you draw? You write poems. I mean, if you write raps, you kind of write poems.
I do. I have a lot of poetry, but that is definitely more personal. Yeah. Like that is something that I have yet to share.
Do you want to share one now? Have you memorized any? It'd be dope if you want to spit one out.
For a poem? Yeah. I haven't memorized any. It's kind of like when I'm going through something, I feel like you don't want to put everything in music. Yeah. You know, I have a lot of my poems are about kind of like generational trauma and the women before me. Like I'm in solidarity with women, you know. I think that we go through a lot of, just as men do. There are things that men go through that women don't, but we go through a lot of shit. Like there are a lot of expectations of us just walking on a street, you know, like people expect you to talk to them or whatever it might be. So a lot of my poetry is kind of around that, and it's personal. Maybe one day I'll share it, and maybe someone will gain some type of like connection through it. Like I've experienced that, or like I feel that, and one day maybe, but right now it's more just for me, like shit that I want to just write about.
No, that's cool. That's cool. I mean, I'm just saying because it'd be dope to hear you out, and someone will hear you out.
Yeah.
You know, and it's always good. One person that hears you out is, you know, it feels cool. Like I don't put my music out there, but there's always one guy, even if it's been the same friend that I had for 1,000 years. He keeps saying that was a dope jam, you know, and it feels cool. So it's the same thing. Like if you drop a poem, like maybe someone will come and hey, that helped.
Maybe we could do another show, and you have 2 other artists that write some poetry, and we, you know, do a little something with that. I think that would be a cool idea.
There was a lot of changes, like I said, but my plan is I'm like, I need to get more cameras, you know, to get more angles.
Yeah.
And eventually I will, sooner than later.
Yeah.
That way, if we bring more people and stuff like that, it gets different angles too.
Yeah, yeah.
But
do
you play any instruments?
I don't. So no? I'm kind of in the process of learning how to play the piano because I wanna talk box.
Oh, okay.
That's my main goal, kind of, because a lot of West Coast hip hop has the talk box on it. Like a lot of hip hop artists sampled Roger Troutman, Zap Band.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, sorry, Zap and Roger. But I don't know. I feel like it'll take my music to the next level. And I have people who can do it and will do it for me. But me knowing it, that's just like something.
You get straight to the point.
Yeah.
What you want.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just dope to learn. Like, I think now there's value in just learning something for yourself.
Yes.
Not necessarily because you need to apply it to something to be successful or because you need to make money off of it. Like, it would just be fun for me to learn. So, you know, I bought the talk box. I have all the fucking equipment. It's just like learning how to use it. And I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens with that.
Because everything is practice, but then it's like you also got to take it 100%.
Yeah.
Even if you're doing it part-time, because like I said, music is part-time.
Yeah.
I don't know if you consider it full-time for you. It's more like part-time, right? Like I said,
it's part-time. It's when part-time. I have time.
Yeah.
That's, you know, it sucks to say it that way, but it's when I have time.
Yes.
Yeah.
But when you have time, it's like you have to make that time, you know, for everything. I mess with my own stuff because I have a music program since I was a kid, but I'm not an engineer. I can't come, I'm too far. But I've learned how to like maneuver a little volume.
You got to know a little bit about it.
And
so
it's just you have to make the time for it.
Yeah, definitely.
So growing up around here, what do you see? How do you still see Santana? Do you see it more messed up? Do you see it more better? Do you see it in all aspects? Do you see it? What do you see Santana being like?
I think it's better, but also at the same time, is it better for us? That's my question all the fucking time. Like when you go to downtown, there are a lot of Latino and Chicano owned businesses, but there are also a lot that are owned by outsiders. Yeah. And that's the gentrification process, and how far is it going to be taken, and like how is that going to affect property values, and for people that have lived here for generations, like how far is that going to go? So I guess that's my question. And how can we get involved? You know, I know there right now, like you were saying, like support is huge. Like I feel like all these little businesses that are Chicano owned, like coffee shops and bars, like all of us are kind of rallying around to go to those spots. You know, I feel like that's kind of what you were saying, like the activism aspect of being a Chicano. Like I feel like that's still there.
Yes.
I feel like we go for the underdog. That's me. I'm always rooting for the underdog. Like I follow artists that they're not famous, but they have a small following and they're good. I don't really give a fuck like what they're dressed like, but their music's good, you know, and like I'm willing to support them. And that's what I've heard other people say, like in interviews, that like they say Mexicans are your biggest supporters. And I really think like that's part of it too, part of our culture. Like, you know, you support people, you support the underdog. So I think that's pretty dope.
And that's what we need right now. Like, like I do follow the Chicano rap scene, like any other thing, but I do follow it and I try to see, for example, like the rappers, you know, that not just rappers, but I try to see who, I get it. I try to see what's like actors, you know.
Yeah.
But I think, like I said, I think the culture is going a little bit more above in regards to down, you know.
Yeah.
In regards to entertainment, businesses, and stuff like that.
Yeah, especially while still maintaining like the integrity of who you are and how you grew up, like not forgetting where you come from. I think that's kind of hard to do for some people. Once you get to a certain level of like wealth, you can become disconnected, but I feel like the way that you stay connected is by like going back and helping others, you know, like getting involved in nonprofits or just speaking like how we are now. And like that's kind of how you can still stay grounded and humble, is like remembering that, you know, not everyone has the same opportunities as you, and how can you now go back to your community and like contribute, you know. So
do you consider yourself an activist?
I feel like in certain ways, you know, like when I was younger, I felt like at this age of my life I would have had more. You know, I was like, oh, by this age, I'm going to have a house. I'm going to have more money. I'm going to be able to do this. I'm not at that point yet. Like, it would be awesome if I could open up some type of, you know, center for a specific reason. I feel like for me, I've been very vocal about, like, Native American rights and just, like, recognition, because there's a lot of debate on that, like what a Mexican is, you know, like what it, you know, we know, but also a lot of us don't know our full history. It's impossible to go back. And if you want to get an ancestry test, there's some shit about that too, that they're not even 100% accurate. So for us, it's important to still come together and realize that we don't have a lot of representation in the government. We don't have a lot of representation on TV. And it seems like anytime there's like a Mexican that needs to be portrayed in a movie, they're not Mexican. There's something else. And like why
Rican. Is even in that aspect, it's like Puerto Rican or something. Yeah,
and it's like why not? What's the reasoning behind this? Like we got to get to the bottom of it. And you know, again, just having people that are like you in, you know, a government position too, like that can understand your position, because then you get forgotten. Like you're not gonna be heard out, you're not gonna be seen. So yeah, it's tough.
And we do need that representation, you know.
Yeah,
we do need that. And like I said, that's why we're education. I think we need to educate ourselves. And if possible others, you know. I mean, we can't educate somebody if we're not educated. But that's where I'm saying self-education, whether it's school, whether it's you're reading a book on your own, but you have to go out there and work for it, you know. And that's how you get educated. So right now, you take pictures, right? Are you working on any of that right now? Like, because I see that you I see your pictures on Instagram, you know?
Yeah.
Are you doing any of that right now?
I think I put that on the back burner because I wanted to focus on music more. Because honestly, the whole photography thing, it takes a long time. Like I would be dedicating weekends to it, you know? You got to meet up, you take a few hours, and also getting ready. It takes time to get ready. So it's just a whole day, and you're outside or you're just like posing the whole time. It's
your
kind
of starts dripping?
Thankfully not. But it's time consuming, and so it's like, where am I putting my time? You know, what's going to benefit me more? And you know, I've lost some engagement. I mean, that doesn't really stress me out. I was never a big social media person, but I notice it, and so I need to figure out where I'm going to get my engagement from. Is it going to be from music or photography? What do I want to be known for? And it's music. Photography comes with it though. You need album covers. You need you know, people to know what you look like still. So it's still an aspect of it.
How does that work? Do you call people or do they call you? Or did you how does that work? How did you get started?
I always say like Instagram, like models and photographers are random people. They're not part of a company. They have no certification. It's not your job. You're meeting random people sometimes. So for me, I always made sure that we have someone in common, some follower, someone I know. The majority of the time, photographers reach out to me, and if I like their work, if it seems like they're legit, I'm like, all right, let's do it. But there's just like a whole vetting process that you have to go through. Like, okay, are they tagged in anything? Do they have actual models on their page? Like, if you have 400 followers and like your shit's really grainy, you're probably not a photographer. Yeah. You're probably just some weirdo with the camera.
And you do gotta be careful, huh?
Yeah.
I know what you mean on that one. Because there's a lot of photographers out there, right?
Photographers.
Photographers.
Yeah, a lot. And there are a few now that I've done a lot of shoots with and I feel comfortable with. I know their work ethic. They've been hired for stuff. Like, they're legit. And I'd rather just work with them than keep... I'm always willing to collaborate, but you have to be legit. Yeah. It has to be worth my time, and it has to be like you're professional. Even though, again, we're not part of some type of company and shit like that, but I still expect you to be like a decent person. Yes. So. Yeah,
that's cool. Have you gotten any weirdos?
Yeah, I would say maybe just one or two. Oh, yeah? The rest were cool. Okay. One or two that, their comments were off.
Oh, okay.
And it's like, why'd you say that? That's kind of weird that, like, you're here with me and you just said that shit. Like, so. But besides that, I'm pretty good at choosing who I'm going to work with. Like, it's simple. If someone is hitting on you, you just stay away. Yeah. It's like, well, now I can't work with you because you just made it unprofessional.
Yeah. So. No, I get it. And it's hard. Like I said, for me, it's hard too. Because I do want to bring everybody, as much people, guys, girls. Yeah. But it's more intimidating because for that same reason, it's like, what are they going to say? Or they're going to think something, And, and obviously, that's not what this is, I try to be as positive. And it's a representation of me and our people, That's how I try to bring it out there.
Yeah.
But I had something in my thought, but I forgot. Do you plan on working with anybody?
Yeah.
In regards to music?
Yeah, I'm open to
anybody.
Anybody.
Do you have anybody like I would want to work with him? Not famous necessarily, but.
I mean. Sugar Free has been kind of like on the map lately. He's been working with a lot of new artists. That would be dope. But whatever happens. Yeah. DJ Quick too. Like, those are the big ones for me. I'd be like, I would be so happy if I had the opportunity. But even honestly, like, I don't really give a fuck like how famous you are. Like you were saying, if you're good, I want to make a song with you. I want to make something that I would listen to. And Nano, he has a lot of homies that he's trying to put on too, and we've been talking like, all right, let's make a song with so and so, and it's just kind of for fun too. That's kind of the beauty.
That's what
of
it's supposed to be, right?
Exactly, it's supposed to be fun. It's not supposed to be complicated and stressful.
Yeah,
you can make it that way, but why make it that way?
Yeah.
So.
Did you see them? I know they had a concert recently. You didn't go to that. Do you go to concerts?
I do. I'm trying to think of the last concert that I went to, but yeah, they were in Garden Grove.
Yeah.
It was my birthday.
Oh, was it?
So I didn't go. It was April 7th. Yeah. Oh, okay. Fortunately, I really wanted to go, but I had plans. So.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, it's fucking local. Like I really wanted to go.
And then it's them too. It was them too.
Yeah, like where do you get that unless it's like a big ass event? Yeah. So. But I'm sure they're gonna perform again.
G-Rod?
Was he there?
He performed there. G-Rod.
Okay, and was he like an opener?
He was an opener.
Okay, yeah. So I've been looking at the openers for Garden Grove, the Garden Amp specifically, because there have been a lot of good artists performing there, even as openers. Like I'm not that I'm shocked, but I'm just like, okay, like they're local. Like we might as well kind of start getting onto their little wave and like see what they're about.
Yeah.
So
I had G-Rod here and he was there. So he's been here. But his music is cool.
Yeah.
It's a whole different style too. It's rap, but it's a whole different style.
Yeah.
And I dig it because it's a little different.
Yeah.
But I dig it. Just look up G-Rod if you want to check him out. His music is cool. I like it. Yeah. I dig it. It's different. So, do you wanna? I'd be down eventually to work if you ever want to. I don't like I said, it's hard for me to to schedule, but if you're ever interested, I'll be down. You know what I mean? I record right here. I do plan myself to it took me a while. I didn't write music maybe for like 2 years.
Yeah.
I got like not over it, but it's like my brain was somewhere else.
Yeah.
Recently, maybe like 4 months ago, I just started writing again. And I know a guy named Delic, which is Beats Are Dope. Shout out to Delic. But I wanna I'm thinking of getting some beats from him, you know, and start doing something legit, whether it's a song or two, but start making an actual song, you know. So, but I got a lot of ideas, but I don't know how I'm gonna start it, you know. But eventually, if interested and it happens, I'd be down, you know. Even if it's a track, you know, we'll see where it goes. I don't even know yet if I'm gonna take it that route.
I'm down with it. Again, like if we have like similar styles and like we're on that same wave, I'm down to work with whoever, as long as they're willing to do it. So that's the thing. Like, you can talk to people and they say they want to do something, but then you don't get a reply. You don't get the work. Like, all right, did you finish recording? And I'm all for it. Like, I get it. People have work.
Yes. People
have families. Like, you know, I'm willing to give people time. Just like sometimes I need time. But if it's like excessive, where you're like, shit, like I kind of forgot about that project. Like, is this person gonna get back to me? Then you gotta move on. You know. But
we'll see. Like I said, I don't even know. I just bringing it up because at the same time, who knows? Sometimes I just get lost in my own.
Yeah, I mean, writer's block too is like I get writer's block, and I think again that's when you're forcing the creation.
Yeah. When do you write music? Like, do you? I've heard of people say they like writing music in the night. I don't know about you.
I think it's because I know at night that I don't have any expectations of myself. Like during the day, I'm like, oh shit, I gotta get here, I gotta go there. When I'm driving too, that's when shit comes to me.
Come up, huh?
And I'm like, fuck, like, I'm driving, like, so I'm, like, you know, trying to remember. I'm trying to, like, do some audio typing so I don't forget or record myself. And it's always when I'm driving. Yeah. Or I wake up in the middle of the night and I think of something and then I'm like, oh, I remember in the morning. Yeah. And I don't, like a fucking idiot. I should have just wrote it down, you know?
It happens, yeah.
Yeah.
No, but that's dope. You know, that's cool. Like I said, I want that you showcase and you bring this because you seem like a smart person, you know.
Thank you.
We need more women to that. You're going to school, you know. You're going to school. Your mentality is you want to buy a home, you know. You want to help the youth, and that's a good start. We need more people like that. We need more people. I don't hate on this, but to each his own, you know. I get it, but a lot of people are more about the smoking and drinking, and that's cool, but to a certain level. Yeah, you know, it gets, there's more to that too, you know. That's how I see things. I like to drink, I like to that, but I also, before I do any of that, I make sure I do what I want to do. Yeah. You know, and I think that's important that you're going to school, you're almost done. And do you have something lined up already for that or no?
You kind of just got a job search after you're done, and you know, that's fine though. Like I'm like, fuck it. As long as I get through school, I'm golden. Like even if I have to, you know, find a job elsewhere, like it'll eventually happen. But there are a lot of job openings in this field, so I'm not worried. It's just like, again, how much time do I want to dedicate to that career versus music? And I'm always gonna do both, you know, like I just want to say that I did it. Yeah. That's all.
And that's good.
Yeah.
Because we need more people to do it, you know? Yeah. And we need more people to do it. And the day you do it, you're going to say you did it, you know? And that's what's important. And not give up after that, you know? Doesn't mean things are going to be easy, you know? From my opinion. You just got to start. I think no matter what, because no matter what you finish, you're still going to start all over somewhere, you know?
That's the hardest part of starting.
Yeah.
And then everything from there.
For example, you finish school, but then you got to start again from the beginning.
Yeah.
Whether it's your work and people expect to be making money already, right? Just because you graduate from school, I don't think money's promised. I'm not saying it ain't, but you still have to put your name out there depending where you work.
Yep. You're always a beginner in something.
Yeah.
So that's how I see it, and that's okay. But I think circumstances again would be different if I had kids, maybe.
Yeah.
Like I'm single, I don't have kids, and I have all this time for myself. If maybe I had a child a few years ago, I would need to work. Yeah. But there are resources, yes. Like on my school they have daycare, or on the campus. Yes. So it's like there are still resources no matter what you're going through. Like I think right now we're at a time where there's help, which maybe a lot of people didn't extend that information back then either. But now it's like very well known that there are resources out there. So you just gotta look for them. So
school, a lot of things like junior colleges are pretty much, if you know how to get into them, they're free.
For a year I was like looking over here. I think like Golden West is free for a year.
I never paid for college. I paid for the books.
The little things.
The little things.
But damn, you don't even have to do anything. It's just free if you take 12 units. Like what? I wish I had that my first year. So it's like that. At that point, there's no excuse, and there are a lot of online courses. You just gotta be steadfast.
Do you do online too or no?
I have. Unfortunately, I can't do it online right now, but in the past I have, and I get it. It takes a little more discipline, but I think the majority of people have the capacity to have discipline. It's just, what do you value? Like, yes, I'm sure everyone loves to watch TV after working all day or even on the weekends, but you're helping other people make money when you watch TV.
Yes.
You got to help yourself.
True.
Do what you got to do. And so if that means you can't watch that 3 hours of TV at night, you got to cut it out, or you got to limit it. And that's hard these days. We're fucking addicted to media. And like, I have a timer on Instagram. It limits me. I could do 30 minutes a day of Instagram.
Oh, okay.
So I'm trying to stick to that, because it's like, what more?
It is a waste of time.
Yeah. What more do you need than 30 minutes? Really?
I'm new to social media too, because I didn't want none of that. I'm like, I don't need it. I barely, once I started doing the podcast, that's when I started my Instagram. Okay. I'm like, now I have something.
You need it.
But now I'm like.
Yeah, and it's just a fucking like, all of it's meaningless. Like, oh, you saw that fucking meme. Okay, now what? And then 15 minutes later, 20 minutes later, like, holy shit, like, I just wasted all that time on there. I could have went on a run. I could have meal prepped. It doesn't take long to do.
Do you work out?
I do.
Do you meal prep?
I do. Okay. I'm big on that.
It's hard, I try to do it too. Mm-hmm. It's consistency, right?
Yeah.
Like you said earlier.
Yeah.
If you slack off once, you slack off for 2 weeks, and then it's like, I gotta get back to it.
Yeah, definitely.
But that's good. I'm proud of you, and I respect that, because, like I said, why? I mean, obviously, is that why you got your name, Diverse Chicana?
Yeah, because of all these things. That's why. Because I'm definitely not just one thing. Like, I've always had multiple things going on in my life. Like, at one point, I had 3 jobs. Wow. Like, it wasn't just one thing. Like, I need to be busy. I need to always expand myself. Like, if that's learning or whatever the fuck it is, like, I need it. Like, I need to be doing shit and learning. And
that's good.
Yeah.
You're not lazy.
Hard, though. I'm not lazy.
Well, but it's okay to be lazy after you're done.
Yeah.
We all need that.
Yeah.
But that's good. Like I said, it's motivation. And hopefully whoever picks up on this picks up on what you're saying. It is hard out there, but it seems like you're pushing and you're doing what you got to do. And I respect that. And that's what I want to put out there too, I want to showcase that I want to showcase you and what you're doing and how you're doing it. And it's work, right? At the end of the day.
It's work.
I think we went a little while, so it goes by fast. I usually tell, do you want to send any shout outs?
Shout out to MP Nano. We're gonna get this shit rolling, and thank you to everyone who has supported me so far and supported the podcast as well. I also hope that you go far with this. You get what you need out of it, and congratulations again on just keeping up with it.
Thank you.
Again, you're doing the work too. It's hard, but
thank you, and I appreciate you for coming by. You know, it makes me happy because it's hard. You know, it's like
I know,
hard.
Yeah, it is. But
I'm not famous.
It wasn't even about that. I mean, I met you in person, and like you were consistent again with the conversation, like I said, and your account seems professional. Those are all like green flags that you look for in an account, and you have content out there with real people. So for me, it wasn't very difficult to be like, all right, I fuck with it. Like I'm down. So
and thank you again. Any I always tell everybody this too. You want to send a message to the youth, to not just the youth, adults, men, girls, anybody, you know, any message you want to send out there, positive one, obviously.
Yeah. So I think for everybody, just do what you need to do. You will always regret not trying, but you won't regret trying and failing, because that's a part of life. So get out there, you know, don't get stuck in your comfort zones, and do that thing that you've always wanted to do. Take the time, because the one thing you can't buy is time. So use it. Use all of it. You know, make sure it's used well, and you don't feel like you wasted it, because that's like from the Bronx Tale.
Oh, you like that movie?
Yeah, one of my favorite movies. The saddest thing in life is wasted talent, and that can go for a lot of people. Everyone has a different talent, you know. Nurture it and take it where you want to. So
there you go.
Yep.
There you go. Are you into those type of movies?
I am, yeah.
Do you? I've seen this movie before, but it's recently on Netflix and stuff like that. But it's a little bit more on the hardcore side, but it's based on old school. It's called. Damn.
Who's in it?
That Robert De Niro.
Okay.
Once Upon a Time in America.
Yes.
Have you seen that one?
Yeah, I have.
That's a real good movie.
Yeah.
I mean, I seen it. It's on Netflix and Prime. I'm like, well, it's on both of them.
Yeah.
But so there you go. Check her out anywhere they can follow you. I mean, if you want to throw it out there.
Instagram is Diverse Chicana. YouTube, Ceslee G, and that's, you know, pretty much all I'm on. I don't need all the TikTok bullshit, so that's good enough for me.
Yeah, I get it, and that's cool. Because it's easier. Then we don't have to check everything out.
Yeah, it's all
you have
there.
everything on one, you know.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna check your stuff out too. You know, like I said, I wish I would have thought of checking out your music.
Yeah.
It would have given me more of an insight, but I will. You know, and anytime I'm down to support, you know. If you ever have an event, if you ever anything, if I could help or support, I'd be down, you know.
Yeah, same to
you.
And
I appreciate it. I appreciate you coming by, and thank you once again. I really had a good time, and whenever we can do this again, I'd be down, you know.
Yeah.
I will. That's my plan, to bring everybody in again, you know. And if you're down, sooner than later, we can do this again, you know.
Okay, yeah, well, we'll get MP Nano.
Ask him, tell him.
Me and him will just be going on and on with you.
Yeah, tell him, because I did ask him once, and I think I asked him again, but he was just like, I'm busy on my own things right now.
And I get
it. Yeah, but ask him.
All right.
Because we need more, obviously, también la gente de Santana, you know.
Yeah,
I want to showcase the people from Santana, you know. Yeah. And Orange County, not just Santana, but you know, not just Mexicans neither, you know, Chicanos.
Yeah.
There's Asians in Santana. There's black people in Santana, and I want to bring them. I just don't know Asians, and I just don't know black people. Too many. I asked one, but he was like, "Nah, I can't right now." So I'm like, okay.
Eventually, though, we'll get there.
Yeah, we'll get there. Yeah. We'll get there. But once again, thank you. Stay tuned. Check it out. Follow her on YouTube and Instagram. Diverse Chicana. She's dope, and check out her music too. Peace.
Thank you.